I get those goosebumps every time. I need the Heimlich, throw that to the side. I get those goosebumps every time, yeah. When you...
Greetings technicians, this is Admin Crow here, your coach of the Toronto Star Raptors, bringing you the very first team builder for the off-season of the TDL, the Technician Dream League. In this league, we are actually doing a special rule of Tier 3 and below, so only Pokemons that are Tier 3 and below are allowed, with a couple of bans that we voted on. And so this week we are actually going to be taking on one of my good friend Alan, aka Dark Fire Cat, again, the other Techmin, in an epic showdown. So I'm really excited to use the Pokemon that I drafted. I did talk about all the mons that I drafted and how I plan on using them throughout this entire season in my draft analysis. You guys can check that out if you are interested. So in this video, I'm just gonna be going over the mons that I'm bringing this week to start off the season for the off season of TDL, and talk about the mons that are on Alan's roster, which you guys should see right now to your right momentarily. And yeah, let's just get started. I'm really excited to use the mon that I drafted. So up first we have I'm also going to be going over the nicknames, of course. Overdrive, the shiny Vikavolt, definitely one of the best shinies in Gen 7 in my opinion. Packing the Assault Vest with the ability Levitate. The movesets are Volt Switch, Energy Ball, Bug Buzz, and Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt is my main stab to click against his team. Bug Buzz covers everything else that resists Thunderbolt, mainly being the Executor, if he so decides to bring that. I don't think he's gonna bring it because I have both Vikavolt, Nidoking, and Swallow, which all three destroys Executor. And Volt Switch is there for momentum. Energy Ball is specifically designed to take on the Gastrodon, which is, I guess, one of the best ground type in this format in my opinion as well. He did pick that thing up on his very first overall pick for his roster. And the EV spreads here are just max HP and with enough special attack to OHKO a special defensive nature Gastrodon with max HP. The crazy thing is, even with max special attack coming from a base 145 special attack mon and a modest nature, I actually don't guarantee one hit KO a max special defensive Gastrodon with Energy Ball, despite the fact that it is quad effective. So this is the benchmark I decided to go with, just max HP variant with a special defensive boosting nature, and the rest in special defense with a calm nature. This thing is to help me take hits from the Rotom Heat if I really need be, but it's mainly to design to take on the Helioptile, whatever that mon's name is. Helioptile. I'm sorry if I'm really bad with some of the mons names, simply because I don't really normally play low tiers too much, so I didn't really get a chance to pronounce their names at all. So anyways, so that's what the set is for. And if you look at his roster, his entire roster is mostly especially attacking, with the main exception being that type No. I do have something for that type No at the back, but 90% of his entire roster is basically special attacking. And this thing can also take hits from the Frostlass, which is one of the more threatening offensive threats from his roster as well. His team is relatively slow compared to mine. I'm going to try to take advantage of that for sure. So up next we do have Alexander the Nidoking packing the Life Orb and the ability Sheer Force. And of course, if you watch my draft analysis, you know that this Sheer Force draft. Anyways, for the moves we do have Toxic Spikes, Earth Power, Sludge Wave, and Sucker Punch. I was going back and forth between this last move here. I initially had Rock Slide on it, simply because his only ground immunity, I believe, is that Rotom Heat. I can hit that thing with super effective damage if I do go for the rock slide. But then I realized that Sludge Wave is gonna be doing a tremendous amount to it anyways, and maybe I'll go with Rock Slide actually. Sucker Punch helped me with the Helio tile. I'm gonna be clicking like my dual stabs, just Sludge Wave plus Earth Power hits his entire roster anyways, and T-Spike is there to abuse the fact that he doesn't have a poison type to absorb them, and his way of hazard control, I believe, is through either Rapid Spin, Front Torko, which can get easily revenge killed and get knocked out by Earth Power as well from the Nidoking, or it's really weak to rocks, and plus his other form of hazard removal, which is the Rotom Heat via a defog, is also weak to rocks. You will see in a little bit that I am packing rocks this week as well. So I'm gonna try to get up T-Spikes as soon as possible. If I do force out a switch with Nidoking, which is most likely going to happen simply because this thing hits so hard in a tier like this or in a format like this, he's definitely gonna be fearing Nidoking to some extent. Now I think about it, the only reason for holding me back for packing Rock Slide on this stat is simply because I will have to run like a non-attack minusing nature if I do run the Rock Slide. So, and plus I don't like if I get burned from the Will-O-Wisp coming off the Rotom, or the Lava Plume coming from the Torkoal, my Rock Slide is going to be completely useless anyway, right? So the Sucker Punch is just there in case he does bring a Scarfer. I'll be able to get some damage off as a last ditch effort. So the speed tier here, obviously I do have a spot amount as nature. I believe Rotom Heat does outrun me naturally, so even though I don't expect him to bring a speedy Rotom, I don't really have a benchmark to hit. I just bought it. I just bought max special attack and max speed in case he does bring a Rotom that is max, like basically not max speed. I will be able to outrun the Rotom, right? So that was my idea there. It is very weird because I don't want to go too slow, simply because Rotom is faster than me. If I try to hit the next fastest thing, he very well might outspeed me with a non-speedy Rotom anyways. So that's something I try to prevent to happen. That's why I do have max special attack and max speed here, if that makes any sense. So up next we do have Atlanta the Swallow, first member of the Green Gang here. Packing a choice back with the ability Scrappy. Initially I had Guts because as you can see I am running a mix Swallow with some really heat EV spreads. So obviously choice back is to couple with that Boom Burst is my main way of ditching out damage. U-turn for momentum, quick attack as a last ditch effort to get the KOs on Helio tile in case he is choice Scarf. And the Hidden Power Ground is there for his Nose Pass, because that's his main way to resist Swallow's dual stab. I think that thing have very high chance of coming, as he does get access to both Volt Switch that gives him slow momentum and be able to check Swallow, and also Stealth Rock, which will help him set up hazard. My hazard removal options on my roster is very limited, but I think I can deal with just with the hazard that I brought. I'm gonna try to let him hazard control for me if he does pack that defog. And the ED spreads here, right? I do have a hasty nature because I actually do have to run a speed boosting nature over Modest to outrun his Frostlass, which has a base speed of 110. I believe he does hit 350 with a speed boosting nature, mainly being timid, I guess. If he does bring that Frostlass. So if I run Modest, I will only be able to hit a cap of 349. So I was forced to run a hasty nature. So Scrappy obviously is to ensure that I hit the Frostlass, even though he might not bring it against me, I don't think. So just most special attack, most EV points in special attack to help me hit as hard as I can with that choice back. And 100 in attack to help with the quick attacks and U-turns. U-turn will be doing tremendous amount of damage to Executor anyways. That's why I didn't have the flying coverage for his team, and just a little bit in HP in case I do have to take a hit from the physical side. And well, actually from the special side, because there's not too many physical attackers on his team. That's why I opt to run a minus defense nature as well. So up next we do have the heat of the week, Archilles or Achilles, however you decide to pronounce that. The second member of the Green Gang, coupled up with Atlanta, the Judagon, packing a Yachi Berry with the ability Mode Breaker. The moveset is Facade, Glare, Stealth Rock, and Earthquake. This is a set that I'm really proud of. So first of all, I have a SPDEF boosting nature of Careful, and mostly HP and a little bit of attack, and as much SPDEF as possible with enough speed to outrun a Frostlass after I cast a Glare on it, which is the fastest mon on his roster. So two of these faster mons are Helioptile, which have a base speed of 109, and Frostlass, which has base speed of 110. With a Glare on Frostlass, so basically if I do see Frostlass, I can lead with this thing and just go straight up for a Glare turn 1. Because I do live any hit that it wants to go for because of my Yachi Berry, reducing the damage coming from that potential first turn Blizzard or Ice Beam, and be able to outrun him the second turn once he's paralyzed, just with my speed investment, and be able to either get up my rocks or go for an Earthquake, doing a lot of damage. This thing is also a pseudo switch into the Rotom Heat, as I don't have too many switch-ins to that thing. Overall, with the Mode Breaker ability, I will be able to hit that thing with a quad super effective Earthquake if I do go for it, and Stealth Rock obviously is there for entry hazards, and Facade is in case I do get Will-O-Wisp burned or toxic by that Rotom Heat, or even a Lava Plume coming off the Torkoal. So up next we do have Skaha the Mawile, Shiny Mawile actually. Packing the leftovers with the ability Intimidate. He doesn't have too many physical attackers on his roster, so but in case he does bring that Swords Dance U-turn type null with Eviolite, I want to have designated switch into that thing. So I am packing. It's another rocker actually. I'm packing double rocks. I really want to ensure I get up my rocks this game, simply because, as I mentioned before, both of ways of his hazard removal are weak to rocks, and Superfan for his walls, just to be able to get off a huge chunk of damage on whatever comes in. Knockoff is for that Eviolite on that type node specifically, but just being able to knock off in general is really nice, and Toxic is there to wear down his walls as well. So yeah, there's a couple of things on his roster that my wall is in Mawile set over like entirely, but I think I can work around it. The EV spreads are just max HP with max attack, and a little bit in depth in case I need to take a hit. I don't really calc anything, but it's just mostly physical defensive to take on the type no, in case he does bring it. So up next we have our win con of this week. Initially I had a Shitskin Scrafty set, but I decided to go with this set to save some heat for the rest of the season. I don't want to burn it out, right? So this week we have our heat set of our Archilles, the anti-lead, and like a really speedy one too, right? So I want to save some heat for the Scrafty later on into the season. So we do have the nickname Supreme the Scrafty, that last member of the Green Gang here, packing the Titanium Z. We do have an unlimited Z move in this league, so basically meaning you can go with Z Crystal on whatever mon that you so decide to go with. So it's just a basic Moxie Dragon Dancing set. I can set up on a lot of things on his roster with this. So the idea is to weaken his roster to a point where I can get up a Dragon Dance and just sweep through with Titanium Z and my Moxie ability, which allows me to snowball his entire team. For the moves, obviously we do have that dual stab, knockoff, Dream Punch for recovery, and high jump kick. High jump kick is mainly for the boosted Titanium Z, because it's a lot stronger than Dream Punch. Dream Punch when it becomes a Z move. But most of the time, without my Z move, I'm just gonna be clicking Dream Punch anyways once I get that +1 of my Z move. So the speed here is for again the Frost Blast after +1. So I was forced to run a Jolly Nature because of it. So yeah, that's gonna be the team builder for the week 1 of TDL Tier 3 and below. So hope you guys enjoyed. I'm gonna try to keep the team builders a little bit shorter than the previous season. I'm gonna try to go over the sets as quickly as possible. So yeah, this is gonna be Admin Crow here signing off. Hopefully we'll see you guys in the match. See you guys next time. Goodbye, technicians.